Hey y'all, it's Steve, Hobo with Wood, and this is my latest project. Hang around, we're going to talk in detail about how I made this. Okay guys, I don't know about you, but right now my social streams and my inboxes are being flooded with this type of sign. I don't know if it may be a recent search that I did or if it's just they know I'm doing lasers, but my social media stream, Hobo with Wood on Facebook, my personal one, it's just filled up with this. And I said, you know what? I can do that. I can even do it a little bit better than some. And they're selling these things for a ton of money. Now this is cut out of a single piece of 12 by 12 or 300 millimeter by 300 millimeter material. This entire sign, including all the layers, this is combined of made up 6 layers on this. There's the main billboard, and then there's a main piece for the arrowhead, and then glued on top of the arrowhead, which is glued on top of the billboard, are another 1, 2, 3, 4 more layers. So there's 4 layers on top of the arrowhead plus the arrowhead in the back, 6 layers total. And it really makes for an impressive piece of artwork. I like the dimension of all the extra layers on there. A lot of those I see online, they're being sold, they're maybe 2 layers, maybe. A lot of them just engraving and painting. And they also limit you to, like, you can change the name, the date, and the animal. And that's pretty much it. I think it says National Park Service here and welcome to the adventure or something. Well, I've got a file that I have available on my website, which is hobowithwood.com. And on that file, everything is customizable. As far as all the text, this can be edited to whatever you want. Same at the bottom and also up here too. And I'm going to show you all that in LightBurn here in just a second. But I want to explain how I put this together. So if you decide to take this on and you want to get a really nice piece like that, you can. It's really not that difficult. So I don't have the actual arrowhead, the main piece of the sign, separate piece right now, but I'll show you the 3 layers that glue to the arrowhead. And if I don't break them, I'll be right back. So this is just 1 layer, and that's the second layer of the arrowhead. You have the arrowhead, then this piece, and this is the silhouette of the tree and the silhouette of the mountain peaks. Then you have the next layer, which is this piece, which is the silhouette of the trees and the mountain top. This is the white painted snow caps of the mountains. So when you layer those on top of one another, the trees blend together, and then you have just the snow caps that would be sitting on top of the mountains. I paint my mountains all brown. Use get one of those mixture paints where it's not just all monotone. Then my snow caps, I paint, this is almost all covered up. So I paint this top portion here all solid white, and then this piece right here, actually in the design on LightBurn, this little notch right here is not there. I omitted it from the final design, and that's a pond or a lake off in the distance. And on this cutout, on the actual piece from the finished design, I paint that one little area blue because it will be seen through the next layer, which is just the trees. And it'll sit right on top of there, and then that's painted green for me. I painted a kind of a hunter green, and then that would see through to the next layer and see the blue pond. And I'll show you that so you can see it. Hopefully it shows up in this lighting and it's not hard to make out, and I've got it held in the right spot. but goes together really simple, really easy. I did some extra detail painting of my trees using my most favorite paint pens. These, I'll put a link to these. I got them on my website, but these, I don't even know how to say it. Nui atop? I don't really know. But they're acrylic paint pens. And where I say they're acrylic, they're water-based paint marker pens. And man, writes on just about every surface. And you can really super fine point and get really good details. And you see the tree, see the multicolors in the tree. That big tree, tall tree there. I've got the trunk and the brightness of the leaves where the sun's reflecting off of it, and then the shadows in the tree. Did all that with the paint pens. Turned out really good. So let's jump into LightBurn and take a look at this file. So as you see, as it stands, when you download the file, it is laid out on a single piece, 300 by 300 millimeter material. And you can get the entire design cut out of one piece, $2 worth of material or less, depending on how you buy it. And these signs, this size, the 12-inch signs, they're selling for $40 a piece. So this right here is a huge moneymaker. And if you have a larger laser, you can scale this design up. I wouldn't go any smaller than this because the details get really tight, especially on your animals. And we'll talk about those down here in a second. But I wouldn't go any smaller than this 12-inch piece. But going bigger, there's a lot of details that'll really be amplified and look good the bigger you get, if your laser workbed will accommodate it. But this will generate you a lot of revenue off of a very minimal investment. So you've got the main piece there, and it is completely customizable as far as all of the text. I opted to go with welcome to the, I didn't use welcome to the adventure, I said welcome to the show. And then Hobo with wood, and then we started the channel in 2022. But to edit this, you just select the text and go into text mode in your LightBurn there, and you can just start backspacing, change it, change the font, do whatever, change the size, and then come down here when you put your name in here, select that text and start changing, easy peasy. Then this piece down here, I used enter at your own risk. I was being funny. Here you can completely edit that. Now I put two toolpaths on here. There's a toolpath up here. That's that blue toolpath. And I put a blue toolpath down here. Now the reason for the toolpaths is so that you know this arrowhead is going to glue onto this piece, and you want to know where it's going to be sitting so you know how much room you've got to actually play with your text. Same goes for down here. This piece, which is your mountaintop, is going to glue here, and this is the only exposed area you have left. So that's the reason for these toolpaths. Now you can play with that, change your spacing, your size, your font size, but you don't want to get this too small because there we're already using a font about 2.5 millimeters maybe. So it's a really, really nice file as it comes together. I included with it a couple of different animals that you could cut out to use as the very top piece. They are totally optional, but there's plenty of room around this design to grab one of these and place it up here and cut it out. Now I went with the Sasquatch, but there's an elk, the buffalo, a moose, a wolf, a bear, and a bear claw. Now the bear claw is not just a silhouette. It's actually a bunch of individual pieces and would cut out very, very poorly if you were going to cut out the individual pieces. That'd be a real bear, pardon the pun, to put on to the design. But I included it because as an option, instead of cutting out these designs and putting it on top of it as an additional layer, you could just select one of those, Control D, duplicate it, and the one with the cutout for the pond, which is this piece here, that's going to be your top layer. You could actually just bring this bear claw and put it right there, and then put it on an engrave layer and engrave it, and then not have to worry about a second layer. You could engrave it, and then you could pre-paint your wood and engrave that pawl on there black, or you could cut it out, engrave that, paint it, and then we'll go back and fill that pawl with a different color. So I went ahead and left that there, and you can do that same thing with any of those. Instead of doing a cutout, you could do an engraving. Like on the moose and the elk with their antlers, they can be a little bit tricky to cut out when you get really, really, really small. If you've got your laser focused and dialed in correctly and cut speeds right and the material is good, it wouldn't be a problem. But those antlers do add a little bit of more difficulty to it than the Sasquatch, the wolf, the buffalo. Here you would possibly do this right here, ungroup that, and then put both of those on the black layer to engrave them, engrave the eyes and the horn, and cut out the rest of it instead of cutting out the eyes and the horn. But it's all personal preference. All personal preference. Whatever you like, what do you think looks good, because it's going to be what? Your sign, your design. Group that back together. But this is on hobowithwood.com. It is available for download, all the layers, for $4.95. A whopping $4.95. You can buy this file one time. I encourage folks to buy my designs and use them to go make money. I hope you go and become a millionaire. And if you become a millionaire, you can go, you know, this wouldn't all happened if it wasn't for Hobo with Wood. And then you can just adopt me and send me a little something every month. So take this, have fun with it. Use this $4.95 file and a $2 piece of wood, and you'll sell it for $40. And now you've just made $34, made all your money back, and cleared $34 profit. Last your time. And the second time, it gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. You make more and more money. A $2 piece of wood, make a $40 sign. Man, do that all day long. So this is a fun file to make. It turned out really, really nice for me. I hope you go over to hobowithwood.com, buy as many of these as possible. I think it went that way. Hobowithwood.com, or no, it goes that way. I don't know. But that right there. Go over there and check that out. Buy as many files as you can. The website is still not 100% yet. Do not bother setting up an account right now. Check out as a guest. That should be as an option, because the account part is still not cooperating. We're getting that straightened out. If you set up an account and you can't get logged in, use Control F5. You might have to do it once or twice to clear out all your cache, all your memory, and then you should be able to get in there and use that website as a guest and not bother with the accounts. But if you have any problems, you can always contact me at hobowithwood@gmail.com, and I will get that straightened out. And the website will be fully functional and 100% operational within the next couple of days. So guys, thank you for your support. Don't forget, go check this sign out. They are selling like crazy. And also, before we go, quick grammar reminder. If you're going to put it in there and you're going to put someone's name in there and say it's going to be the Costners plural does not have an apostrophe. The Costners plural is just N-E-R-S. If you put an apostrophe in there, that just means it's the Costners sign. It's possessive. I mentioned that because the ads that are in my social media, a few of them add the apostrophe in there, and I'm going, wow. They're making and selling signs. So no apostrophe. Download the file, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.